All right, today we're going to tear into an online health guide called The Shingles Solution. We're going to break down what it's all about, its main claims, the story it tells, and its big promise for how to fix the problem.
So, the guide kicks things off with this really dramatic question. And right out of the gate, it's trying to make you think. You know, that awful rash and those blisters you picture when you hear shingles? The guide is hinting that's not even the main event.
And surprise, surprise, it's got the answer ready for you. The guide immediately pivots to what it calls the real danger, something that it claims kicks in long after that initial rash is cleared up. Okay, let's dive into this.
So according to this source, the way we should be thinking about shingles is all wrong. The shingles attack itself, that's just the opening act. The real problem is a severe and it claims very common complication that comes later.
And here it is, postherpetic neuralgia, or PHN for short. The guide basically sets this up as the true villain of the whole story. It's described as this state of just constant, unending, agonizing pain.
Now this is where they really crank up the tension. The guide uses this number to raise the stakes in a big way. It claims that for 2 out of every 100 people who get shingles, this nerve pain doesn't just fade away, it can stick around for 5 entire years.
And, to stop this from just being some scary statistic, the narrator makes it personal. She tells this really powerful and emotional story about what her own brother went through.
This timeline is just wow. It's absolutely central to the story they're telling. It lays out this whole horrible ordeal to show you what they mean. It's not just the first attack. It's 8 months of pain after the rash is gone. And then, to top it all off, another full-blown attack.
And then bam, they hit you with this number, 250. The guide uses this to really quantify his suffering. We're talking about nearly 250 consecutive days of what it calls savage pain. It's a detail that's clearly designed to make you feel just how relentless this thing can be.
Okay, so this is the big reveal, right? The tale of 2 attacks. This is the pivot point in the whole narrative. This is where the story flips from, here's this awful, devastating problem, to, and here's how we miraculously fixed it.
All right, so with that dramatic turnaround as the setup, let's actually look at what this solution is all about and how the guide sells its benefits.
So the guide lays out these 4 main benefits, but here's a really important detail. The narrator presents these as the results she personally experienced, kind of mirroring her brother's incredible recovery.
So how do you do it? Well, the method itself is broken down into this pretty simple 2-part plan. Phase 1 for the first week is an all-out blitz on the immediate symptoms. Then Phase 2 over the next 3 weeks is all about shifting gears to build up your long-term immunity.
Okay, a 2-phase plan sounds simple enough, but how does it actually work? Well, according to the guide, it all boils down to their theory about the real root cause of shingles in the first place.
So here's their theory. Shingles isn't some new bug you caught. Nope. It's more like a ghost from the past, the chickenpox virus just lying asleep in your body for decades. Their argument is that a weakened immune system just loses its ability to keep that old virus locked down.
And this, right here, this is the core of their entire argument. They paint this picture of 2 completely different approaches. On one side, you have standard medicine, which they claim is just playing whack-a-mole with symptoms. And on the other, you have their solution, which they say goes straight to the root of the problem by strengthening the immune system.
So, if you had to boil this entire program down to one single idea, what would it be? What's the fundamental takeaway?
And there it is. If we behaved our way into shingles, then we can behave our way out of it. Wow, that one line says it all, doesn't it? It frames shingles not as some random disease that just happens to you, but as a lifestyle disease. The implication is clear. If your habits got you into this mess, new habits can get you out.
And that's really the big idea this whole guide is built on. It leaves us with a really compelling question to chew on. Is it actually possible that our daily choices, our lifestyle, is the key to taming a virus that's been hiding in our nervous system since we were kids?